Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble June Gathers. We are back with another best of 3 series on our qualifying rounds. Joining with me is Pyro Cheese. How you doing, Pyro Cheese?
Doing just fine, my friend. Yeah, here ready on the Saturday to cast some more matches. We finally wrapped up our first best of 3 that was going to be going out to the run against Blue Shell, and here we're going to be casting 2 new teams. I'm actually not familiar with them, so or actually I am familiar with them rather. 2 different teams, I should say. I miss words, English today.
Hey, we each get one.
I hope we each get a couple, because I'm sure that's not going to be the last of it either.
Right? Well, we'll have to take out a loan or something.
Right.
This is what happens when Uberenzi leaves us. He hard carries both of us.
Yeah, right. It's going to be interesting.
XiPang Disciples, our second place team from both April Gathers and May Gathers versus Izzy Dizzy. The lineups today, it's Blah Bowl the Hunter. We've been holding that one in. And Paulo versus Nadrakis, Shin, and Shadow. Two experienced teams here, 2 veteran teams. Each qualifying against each other. One will move on to the losers bracket, and in their pool, only one of them will be able to play in the playoffs tomorrow. It's I want to remind everyone that we got the bet system going on. Tell us who you think is going to win. It's either going to be the red team or blue team. Guess correctly to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. So you have until the match begins to get those guesses, and just type red or blue into the chat. Pyro, how are you feeling about these comps? You want to take us through the draft and everything?
Let's go ahead and get into that. So on the red team is going to be the team comprised of Paolo, Blah, and Hunter, Body Hunter, I should say. Bob the Hunter, I should say. And they're going to be banning Vinny and Deadlift, as well as picking up the Penny, Scoop, and Scree. And the other team, we're going to have the Genji and Leon ban, and picking up a Swiggins, Ted, and Sentry. So 2 things that I want to point out really quick is that this is the first time we're going to be seeing both the Scoop and the Scree this time around. The other dons we have seen so far. And generally speaking, I remember a couple of patches ago, the meta when it came to the draft system was always ban Scoop. He was definitely a strong character over here, but they have balanced him out ever since then. So he's not as bad, quote unquote, as he used to be, so it's not that uncommon to see him in comps, and he's still pretty good. You know, a long-range snare that could go a long way in order to actually, you know, immobilize teammates, especially something like this where the enemy team is going to be pretty reliant on movement, especially with Swiggins. You know, Swiggins, his kryptonite, you know, he's pretty strong overall, but his kryptonite, as with any not, is going to be a strong source of CC, and he's especially susceptible to it because he really has very little escape mechanisms. But also Scree going to be coming out and going to be able to control a lot of team fights, I would say. But at the same time, there's going to be the classic Sentry and Ted combo. So, you know, Black Hole and then just a Ted airstrike on that same Black Hole could be pretty devastating no matter who you are. And on the red team, it's not going to be like they're going to have a huge health pools or anything like that. So if they take too many of those, it could be going one way or the other for either team in the situation.
Definitely. And I think one thing that I've seen, especially against fast mobile comps, which XiPang Disciples, they've shown over and over that they are all over the map, constantly taking control. And if they can juke out of something, they will. Sentry can be a little bit, I guess, easy to read, in my opinion. You know, the blue team is, you know, not as fast moving on the comp. Obviously, there's Scoop that's slower on the red team, but he's also got that range projectile snare that is the hammer, and I'm sure we'll see Twister Lance coming out. That's the range extension. Between that and the fact that you got totems and all those slows coming up from the red team that will mess up the momentum of the blue team, and just Penny and Scree being the mobile knots that they are, I could see a blue team having a lot of trouble if they like land the anchor dive. If they land the black hole, yeah, that's a kill. But how easy is that going to be against the red team? So one of the things I think is that, especially considering it's Aguilon, where they can really abuse those stroke points, get those totems and hammers to really make sure they connect at the opportune times to get them the momentum that they need. But I think that, well, the blue team has obvious kill conditions. Those kill conditions aren't as easy as they look on paper, is I guess the I'm trying to say here. So with that said, though, I'm ready to get into this match and see how it all plays out and see those jukes will be happening for the XiPang Disciples. Are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready. It'd be a little weird if I said no, but in any case, let's go to
Yeah, no, I'm not ready. Let's take another break.
Hold on, we're casting.
Wait a second.
What? Anyway,
Oh.
but yeah, let's go and get ready. Are you at the 21-second mark?
Indeed, and let me take off the score icons from last game. I still have runs to say up there, even though I changed the names. XD.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. On the red side of things, you got Paulo playing the screen, Blah set playing the scoop, and it's great to see this dynamic duo going in together once again. And Body Hunter playing the cheerleader Penny. And on the blue side of things, you see Nadrakis playing the Sentry. You got Shin playing the Ted, and you got Shadow playing the Swingins. And immediately Shadow going to come in with the Anchor Dive, Anchor Hook. Okay, right about Buddy Hunter. Buddy Hunter might just be the first blood, but he's going to get the health. There's going to be the hammer, and there's going to be the airstrike. Not going to hit a thing. We're all happening there in the bottom bush. Is stun coming out, and then the droids are going to get cleared out there. Binding's going to come out from Blah. Build-wise, you see Saw Blade damage, triple the banner scoop, in silence on the Penny Pulse coming on the red team. Blue team has Agent Octant, Stun Pack, and Region then coming out, the double Medican coming out on the Nadrakis Sentry. No damage yet for them. Gonna see another initiation on Body Hunter coming out there. Airstrike gonna hit Blah, and there's gonna be a Black Hole gonna catch up Blah once again. Dylan, nice 540 damage. If it wasn't for the fact that he scooped, he would be dead. Paulo clearing out that top lane. Pyro, how are you feeling the first blood's going to go down? Because already we've seen 2 very good Swingins initiations that just didn't quite have enough numbers to finish it off.
You are correct. I think it's going to be a quick and very decisive first blood for no matter who it happens to. Like you're saying, it has been kind of a pretty close calls on both sides. I think we're already seeing a couple of the things that we've been talking about, though. As a first pickup, Penny did get silence on Pulse, so it's going to be going a long way in order to control team fights a little bit in that situation. But also, we are seeing the squishiness of the red team, and also how squirmy and kind of easily potentially they could escape while they are able to actually get in there and get out relatively quickly. That is going to be have to wait a little bit. There's going to be a team fight that's coming out. Bally Hunter almost going to be going down right there. The Penny right there, barely getting out with hardly any HP, but not going down there, unfortunately. So they are going to be forced a little bit on the defensive right there. The Sentry is going to be maybe looking for that Black Hole and Power. Not going to be quite getting it right there, almost right there. And that is going to be finally first blood for the red team right there. The Ted going down finally to the Penny on the red team right there. So with that said, it's going to be what it looks like to be a very, very aggressive and fast-paced match. A little bit different than where we have seen in previous matches. And it's going to be a massive black hole coming out right there. Going to be a lot of damage, but it's only going to be Scoop right there caught in. And as you're mentioning, if it were anyone but Scoop, they might have been dead. But Scoop being able to just tank that, no problem. It's going to be just fine. Going to be getting back in lane, just push a little bit. And at this point, I wouldn't necessarily call the blue team staggered, but they definitely have taken 2 kills in a reasonably short amount of time. 3 minutes in, 2 kills to the red team's name, and they are going to be looking to keep that up, I would say. So what do you expect to see from either side as far as it goes? You know, I like to point out first item pickups, and there have been some interesting ones. But with that, they're going to have to, again, wait a little bit because Blah right there, the Scoop is almost going to be going down. Penny going to be caught on the other side. I'm going to be looking to see, and not unfortunately going to be going down right there to the Ted airstrike. And it's going to be 1 kill to the blue team's now to the red team's 2. But I was mentioning, is there something that you want to see, something that you expect to see out of either team, either when it comes to play style or any kind of like specific items that you maybe want to be looking to either counter the other team or anything like that?
Well, we definitely need to see that more damage coming out on the team. I think a microfilm would be a really, really good pickup from Nadrakis here. It's the thing that I say every time I cast a Sentry, 99% of them do not get Invis Beacon, okay? And it's so OP, and the 1% of Sentries I do cast that pick up that Invis and Silence just completely dominate the match. And I just mean, they just walk circles because there's next to little counterplay next to it. You just have to have the confidence to actually make the plays you can with it, because it's very mind game based. Paulo going to be caught in a black hole there, gets barely misses that airstrike, and take out Saw Blade to the bottom droids there after escaping through that little pit, and gonna go pick up his own creeps on the in his jungle. Shin and Shadow taking up that top lane, clearing it out for the blue team, and pushing it up. Rocket setting up a minimum black hole, catches both Paulo and Body Hunter right in front of their turret. Not gonna really much happen though, barely any chip there, no damage on it, it was minimal. Indeed. Blah, drop it down through the pit, gets a hammer. Does it hit Nightrockers? Barely misses it. Nightrockers just setting up some mines so that they go in. Nothing having gets another minimum black hole charge. And now, lane rotation fight. Bounty Hunter uses a pounce, baits out black hole and airstrike. Now they're going in, beats up Shin after he drops down through the pit and chases. And now we see Paulo and Blah cutting out the lane rotation. Bounty Hunter might be in a little bit too hard there, but he takes the anchor dive. Shadow taking up his creeps, and now big fight coming out. Nightrockers again taking a lot of damage. There's going to be the bindings, barely saving his life now. Now Shadow in a really bad spot. He's actually going to get taken out. The pulse is going to be a whiff. He's going to need the bottom bunker. Everyone's low. Paulo's the only one that's full health on either side, except and these actually gets out in the black hole, chases him off the jump pad, and takes him out. I cannot believe he's actually alive. Blah tried so hard to stay alive there, but just in the final lick of time, just that final black hole is what did him in. I like after he survived that, got that first initial bindings off at just like 1 HP. That itself is crazy. Here's a question I got for you. We see Regen coming on everyone right now. Like Sentry, Ted, everyone, and that's gonna wait a second. Black hole, airstrike, triple airstrike. It's gonna take them all, the red team, all down to half health. They're all gonna take that jump pad, Blah and Viz though, and they have to watch out for that beacon. Nightrock is gonna get pulse and silence. That's not gonna look at him. He's gonna get a minimum black hole, and they're all gonna run out. But about that Regen, Scree, Scoop, Penny, and Ted, and Sentry all have other more cost-effective lifesteal options. Why are they all going for Metacam right now?
I think it's kind of an interesting thing that you point out, because personally speaking, I almost always pick up Metacam on any character that I'm playing. I think it's just kind of the difference between potentially getting a more beneficial upgrade on those kind of lifesteal rows. Like, for instance, I know that Sentry has a lifesteal on his auto attack. Penny has that Herring Snack Badge that heals per charge used, things like that. At the same time, though, it doesn't necessarily... It leaves an empty utility row, or that's gonna have to wait a little bit, because if you're gonna be 1-for-1 trade right there, and then a Scoop kind of right there looking for the body block, it's gonna make it a 2-for-1 trade at the very least, looking for that last kill, but not gonna be able to quite pick it up, unfortunately. But I think it's kind of like a pick just because it's going to be a little bit safer than possibly burning a nice item for a auto attack or a kind of an ability item. Just because with nobody picking, they do have 3 out of the 5 utilities at their disposal, and you know, things like BKM maybe they're not looking for, or like Raid Stone or Barrier Mags, things like that. Maybe they're not necessarily looking for that, and Regen might be a better option for that, just because it does free up that item row slot, like I was saying. Everyone getting it early is kind of an interesting thing to point out, I would say, because, you know, like I was saying, a pretty aggressive match so far, so they are looking to stay in as much as possible, just because they don't want to be letting up any ground to a team that, you know, they're both going to be aggressive. So any ground they can make up, they can turn that into something, either a turret or a kill or anything else, just a little bit more map control. There's going to be a team fight that's going to be going to the bottom. All 3 of them caught in the black hole, but unfortunately not much else going to be happening right there. Penny going to be going down to about 2 or 3 bars, but just going to go right back into that. Speaking of Invis Beacon, though, there is that Invis Beacon pickup that I just noticed. So I bet you're feeling a little bit happy about that. So we'll see how much that comes into play. It is going to be sitting right there at the top lane, kind of a little bit towards there. Right where Penny is, we're not going to be seeing any kind of use of that, unfortunately. So it was kind of half open right there, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, not much else going to be going right there. 6 kills to 4 in favor of the red team right there. Push is going to be relatively, actually pretty decisively in the favor of the red team, I would say. Both of the turrets about a 3rd health, and it's going to have to wait a little bit. There's going to be a big team fight going right there. Unfortunately, going to be getting the 2 team fates that were basically at max health possible. So it's going to be a little bit of free push on the red team side. A little bit anyway. Not much. I guess they didn't really want to commit too much to that. But with that being said, who would you say that has the advantage right now when it comes to like map control or just general team fights? Because things are pretty even. So what do you think the starting conditions for a fight might be, and how would things be decided from there?
Well, I think it's about to go down as blue team. That's the only way. Saying big black hole. There's the bindings. There's gonna be the airstrike, and Blah barely surviving that. That Holy Cup and all that region really proving its worth there. No one going down on that, but Okay, red team, they have the Holy Cup, they have the Pulse, that's a lot better team fight, but we have that Invis Beacon that I'm really big fan of. Oh, he tries to pick up the health and he actually does, and now he gonna get the Beacon and actually jukes that out. Very, very well played by Nine Rockets. I thought 100% that he had to be dead. That was a very, very nice use of his Invis Beacon right there. And just things like that, there was so much you can do with it. Honestly, your creativity is the limit when you use Invis Beacon. It's that powerful. And the Glass Case of Emotion upgrade, it just offers so much power, and I believe it's dirt cheap. Yeah, it's only 115 solar for literally an invisible beacon. Like, that does so much. There's so much you can do with that. Silence, damage, just the mind games, the teleporting around, blah, gonna take him out off that rotation. Nine Rockets barely gets taken out, and Shadow getting out just to bar. Jin left to defend, but that top turret is gonna be done, getting last hit by that Scoop Hammer of Justice. Now he's Shadow gonna be teleporting home while Shin defends that bottom lane from the new onslaught here. They're not gonna be escorting those droids though. But yeah, the point of the matter is that more so than anything else, that Pulse and Holy Cup really decides things for those team fights. And then even Sawblade deals 700 damage, Amplify not considered. And then you have Totem that just gets in the way. The blue team messes up Swingins when he wants to go in. It's just really, really annoying for the blue team to face. I really think they need to focus on the Invis Beacon. I'm really glad to see Nine Rockets going that, because don't make me look dumb when I'm like, hey, the 1% of centuries that I cast, just completely style with that. So don't falsify that for me, my dude. Don't falsify it for me. He's going in for a teleport there. Not going to find him. A very good rotation interruption idea. Unfortunately, because he wasn't able to find it, Body Hunter going to be able to pick out Shin right off that. Blah going to get chased down now, and Shadow's actually going to manage to pick up an assassination kill on him. He's trying his best to dodge him, and he... Oh my gosh, that was really well played. I don't care that he died in the process. That was very, very nicely done. Nine Rockets trying his best. He manages to find the black hole, but Body Hunter's going to pounce out of it after chasing him down. Very, very good team fight out of everybody there. That was it. But Strato had gone in that triple. That would have been absolutely insane. Even the fact that he got that double was really, 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 really good.
No, yeah, absolutely. And you know, like, credit due where credit's due. That was part of the Invis beacon right there, that they didn't know that was there, was able to get in there, silence them, do some damage, and was actually able to pick up that other kill where, you know, it looked pretty dire right there. Was looking for a 2-for-0 trade or something along those lines, but managed to come out pretty even thanks to that Invis beacon. So like I said, credit due where credit's due.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And Paulo gonna be taking out Shadow right there with a Saw Blade, and there's gonna be there striking Blah taking a lot of damage there. Paulo using those magic fun balls, as a few of my friends like to call them, to clear out those bottom droids. The Holy Cup getting them nice and healthy. Stun Pack barely saving Nine Rockets' life. Very good team play coming out from Shin right there. One thing that I have to talk about is Holy Cup does so much. It's basically like a mobile hillbot that you can't counter. It does everything the base hillbot does, but no counterplay, and it's literally mobile. When you're versus a scoop that's capable of doing that, like, what is the best thing for the blue team to do in order to work around the fact that pretty much any team fight, red team is going to get another 300, 400 HP?
I think with that, the only thing they can really hope for is try to pick people off when they're on their own. I mean, that's one of the things that they are good at with Swiggins especially. But if they are going to be going in and getting in full team fights, they do have to take into consideration that effectively everyone is going to have an extra 300 HP, and that's pretty tough to deal with. That's basically an extra set of pills right there, you know, both stages, depending on what level you're at. So with that, there's going to be a team fight that's going to be going out right there. A Pulse, Nice Pulse is going to be coming right there, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 trader in that situation. It's going to be actually a 2-for-3 trade in that situation right there in favor of the red team. So they're going to be probably getting a lot of free push. There is a big bot on the bottom with 3 droids up there, so there is potential for it to go down. There are reinforcement. The Saw Blade droid is going to be going down right there. And like I said, with that team right there, they did have to make the consideration that they were going to be forcing the red team to use their Holy Cup binding seal so that they would basically have an extra 300 health, and that did come out into play almost immediately, and actually did turn out into a full wipe on the blue side. So things are looking pretty dire for them. I would say 14 kills on the red team with 7 kills on the blue team. The solo lead is definitely going to be in favor of the red team. Roughly each individual going to be about 300 solar head, 300, 400 solar head, I would say, as their respective partners on the red team. And overall, it's looking pretty rough. I mean, they have not taken a single turret down on the red side. Blue team only has a single turret on theirs. So in that case, what do you think they would be focusing on in this case? You know, obviously kill conditions are going to be that, or win conditions are they need to push basically. But how do they get there? How does blue team actually make that happen?
Well, very clean Ferraris like that right there. And they kind of found that isolated kill on the Body Hunter way after the Holy Cup had gone off and everything that you had been talking about earlier was kind of their kill condition. Now they just got to capitalize on that. They got to get it in the red team's face. They got to make them unconfident by poking them down, landing those strategic airstrikes, those strategic black holes, strategic anchor dives to just wear the red team down from even trying to defend their turrets. But like right now, look at the situation that Apollo's in. He's defending this really well right now. He's going to get the full Saw Blade and Totem, and Blah's creating the hammer distance, and they don't get any push at all. If Blah's going to do something like that, then just give up on the idea of pushing and just go take him out, like force a fight, because Apollo just used the Saw Blade and Totem. What's he going to do to help? And then, you can try and take him out. Things like that are some of the different ways that you can capitalize on the defense tactic of the other team. And right now, we actually see, not going to capitalize on, but I was going to say an invisible sentry with a black goal, which can be incredibly scary, but now he's going to use it to their droids. Now the red team's going to go in. They're actually going to, looks like Shadow going to be taken down. There's going to be the double pulse. Apollo going to take the retraction of the Saw Blade is going to take out Shin, and now 9 Rockets is left alone to defend Sentry 1v3, and he's very low HP. He's got that Invis Beacon, but I think the red team knows about it. He's going to try and bait them on, but he's taking the damage now. It's not a very good scenario for him to be in. He can't get them to go on to that, and he knows that's this condition. I'm pretty sure the red team is aware. He's going to get a nice double black hole. It's going to create a little bit more time, but Shin and Shadow are still dropping. That base is down at 50% HP. Shadow is now coming in. We're about to see an anchor dive. And Rockets is ready for that telefrag. There it is, and doesn't hit anybody. That is so unfortunate, and the droids and Apollo going to take that out, leading to the red team win 16 kills to 8. I cannot believe that Beacon didn't hit Blah. That was probably a pixel off from him. So yeah, Pyro. Looking at how this all played out. I think red team was just a bit more. Both teams found those kills where it's just like one team alone, but red team or one guy alone, and they just kind of punish him for that. Like he was overextended, and both teams had pickups like that. Red team had a bit more. I think the team fight again of just that they had, especially with Pulse and Up, was just like too much for the blue team to have done. So I'm gonna say more than anything, this had to do with comps. Well, I don't know if you agree with that assessment, but would you have drafted any differently if you were a blue team?
I think so. I mean, I wasn't there during the conversation, so I don't know who was playing, maybe to the strong suits, maybe they didn't have enough knock coverage, but excuse me, I definitely would have tried to pick someone out who had a little bit more escape mechanisms as well, just because, when it comes to team fights and things like that, it's blue team, frankly, if they get in a team fight, they have to commit. They don't really have a good way to escape from any team fight, while red team does have something, there's going to be the totem, a snare potentially, or just a simple penny dash, even like that. So if things go poorly for them, they do have the potential to escape, while blue team really didn't have anything like that. Like I said, if there's a team fight going on, unfortunately they have to commit, especially when it comes to the mobility that the red team has to counter that. On the other side of that, I think that they maybe were also kind of like looking to see some of these black holes that simply, a lot of them just kind of didn't happen, unfortunately. Again, those escape mechanisms that were in the red team's favor did come out to play with those team fights where, they needed to be in a specific zone, in either an airstrike or a black hole, things like that. Even a beacon or an anchor dive, some of those were just not hitting, unfortunately, and that's not necessarily to the fault of the blue team, but rather in favor of the red team, just their high mobility and things like that, being able to escape those things, and eventually they did come out in the end to actually give them the win.
Definitely, and they played really well. But that said, Easy Dizzy has done a bunch of upset wins before. It was actually Nine Rockets and Shadow that took out, I believe, American Mojo in the last doubles tournament. So I mean, if that doesn't tell you, what these guys are capable of. So this is a best of 3, and they do have another opportunity. They're going to have to win 2 matches in a row to advance over XiPang Disciples, though. And we will see if they can successfully do that. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble June Gatherers. We are back in match 2 of Easy Dizzy versus XiPang Disciples. After a pretty back and forth game that I think ultimately landed a little bit of a snowball of XiPang Disciples for match 2. Easy Dizzy seeing if they can make the comeback dream happen. Joining with me today is once again Pyro Cheese. How you doing there, my good sir?
I'm doing just fine. Some good matches we've seen today, and here we are ready for a new one today. So how about we talk about the draft in that case?
Absolutely. You want to take us through it, my friend?
Sure, let's go ahead and go with that. So the banned and picked knots on Easy Dizzy are going to be, banned is going to be Scree and Penny, and they themselves are going to be picking up Leon, Sentry, and Raylan. And on the other side, the XiPang Disciples are going to be banning Genji and Ted, as well as picking up Scoop, Vinny, and Frog. And this is going to be taking place on AI Station, so it's going to be a significantly larger map than we're used to seeing right now on Agalon. We've seen the past 2 matches being on that, so it's going to be kind of a different playstyle in that case, a lot more open and not as many choke points. And it is going to be in favor of just more mobile knots, I would say, like I said, just because there's going to be a lot of that spacing. But it is a much more vertically oriented map as well, so things like flyers and things who have like a good vertical axes are going to be a little bit strong in this map, I would say. And with that being said, we are going to be seeing a flyer here, Vinny, the first that we're going to be seeing in the day. And you know, if you get a good Vinny on this kind of map, but it can be pretty destructive because, you know, if you can get a good flyer right there, they can just leave basically. If it really comes down to it, they can just say, you know what, I don't like being here, goodbye, my planet needs me, right? When
your juking tactic is literally just walk away.
Just mash the W button as fast as you can, right? But no, in all seriousness, no, like I said, Vinny's going to be pretty advantageous this map, being able to be just dry, especially with the recent change where you can just drop through any glass platform without any resistance. So he can be changing between lanes pretty quickly, and he is a burst character as well, so if you get a nice combination with someone or a call out, simply there's like, you know what, this guy's low now, he can be there now if need be. So that's going to be interesting to see. On the other side, though, we are going to be seeing a classic pickup of Ray on AI Station. This is changed from the old AI Station 404, where it was a single lane, but this is going to be still a pretty heavily based, or not really heavily, but like when it comes to pushing on this map, Raylan is pretty strong, you know. Raylan can easily handle a single lane on her own, and I've seen some Rays actually handling one lane on her own and is still being able to help out on the other lane to be a productive team member, basically. But you know, we'll see how things go with that. But I do expect to see a little bit of stall, frankly, from the red team, just with their composition right there. But a lot of mobility also coming out from the blue team, just because, like I said, Vinny being able to say, "My people need me, goodbye." But also Frog coming out on that side, high mobile, high damage, as well as Scoop being able to lock people down to actually land that damage. So, with that being said, any comments on the draft from you?
Well, I think you pretty much nailed it. One thing that I'm kind of really excited to see is that this is the comp that Boom used to use back in the Alienware Awesome Cup days. I mean, Scoop, Vinny, and Frog, like, that was it. They ran something like that, or like some combination of Scoop, Swingins, Frog, and Vinny, like almost every single game. They would just get the initiation and just collapse in with the double dive. And to see Paulo and Blob back in action together, and Body Hunter, I guess, kind of being the Huey of this team, it's like, it's back. The dream is back. The fans have awaited the long awaited return, and they're basically Boom in spirit.
You? I'm
just kidding. What?
The fans are you. I'm just kidding.
Well, fans, and I guess I should use singular. Okay. No. With that said, I think blue team is just gonna storm over the red team here. It's gonna be very easy for them to maneuver around the black hole. You got double divers here, and that's just like Vinny and Raylan are gonna be the freest frags in the world. They're gonna have to play Silence and the Rifts perfectly if they're going to win this. I don't think they're gonna be able to do it because, like, the skill floor to win with blue team's comp is like a lot lower than red team's comp, even though they both have basically the same skill ceiling. Like, blue team's comp is capable of doing as much, but it's easier. And you know, that mobile hill bot, like, now Scoop is even more powerful back in times that they used that comp than it was, and just gonna be very, very, very devastating. I think that XiPang is gonna pick up a go here. But only one way to find out. Are you ready to get into the game, my friend?
I'm indeed ready. I'm at the 21-second mark. Do you want to set us off?
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and we go. On the red team, you got Dizzy. I was about to say Dizzy playing the Shadow. Dizzy Shadow playing the Raylan. You got Nad Raucus playing Sentry, and Shin playing Leon La Chameleon. And on the blue team, you got who's been known as pretty much one of the best RPGs in the world. Blah playing the Frog, Paulo playing the Vinny and Spike, and Body Hunter, my favorite scoop main, showing off that fabulous Robo Scoop. I'm gonna take a pot shot hammer here, nothing gonna hit, and they're all gonna go in. They're all gonna do a bunch of damage to Iron Raucus, and Bounty Hunter gonna caught in a black hole. Bounty's gonna go off. He's gonna take a 540 damage post heal, and there's gonna be a double dive coming out from Apollo there. He's already got Antique Machine Gun on, applying that silence on the top lane, and Bounty Hunter right in front of Nad Raucus, right in front of their turret. The fire has dimming down now. They're gonna rotate bottom. Bounty's gonna come out from Bounty Hunter. He's gonna be on the retreat, gonna get a hammer on the way. He gets tongued out there. He might get taken out by Shin, but the Blog get taken out first blood. So I actually thought I was about to see Shin take out Bounty Hunter, but off screen looks like the first blood went down to Shin, taking out I guess Leon versus Frog. And that's a matchup we didn't talk about too much. Leon versus Frog, he cancels the nade, he has the silence, and he can just kind of really give Frog hard. As blue team sticks together, it can be difficult for Leon to do much, but if he catches, Frog or Vinny out, especially, like, it could be a very, very easy frag for him. So that's something that he's really gonna have to watch out for. So far, we do have that one kill in favor of the red team. They're doing their best to try and push up a bit. They're gonna see if they can possibly find a frag here, but we're actually gonna get the double dive combo going down here. Spike into dash NATO, taking out Shin right in front of the turret in a otherwise 2v3 scenario. Bounty Hunter gonna go out. He's gonna take a snipe, but not before Kendo destroys, so advance just a tiny bit. The flyer staggering a little bit, so not much chip gonna happen as a result. Nine Rocket's gonna take a spike dive, but it's got a full black hole, and there's gonna be the black hole teleportation there, using that beacon to his advantage. And their blue team is gonna be getting out, but taking a lot of damage as they go through all that. So far, I really want to see a bunch of damage upgrades come out. This is something we saw last game too. Blue team, you got triple the banner scoop. You got bag of goldfish. You got ninja worms. You have no damage at all on the red team. What upgrades should the red team be going right now? Like, would you agree that it's damage? And if so, what damage upgrades do they need?
I do think that they're going to need damage. I mean, frankly, with Scoop, that's really all I can do against him. There's a whole, especially against this kind of team, they don't have a whole lot of CC options. A good Rift is going to go a long way against him. But really what it comes down to is just raw damage is the only thing that's going to be taking him down. He's so tanky, especially with the Holy Cup potentially coming out. That's going to be making him even more tanky, as well as his team. And really the only counter to more health is more damage, frankly. So I do hope to see some damage. I kind of want to say I have noticed a lot of Rays recently picking up. Ooh, that's going to be a really close call on the Sentry right there. Going to be looking at about less than a bar. Bally Hunter right there going to be looking to almost get a kill right there. And almost going to be going down himself. That's actually going to be a really, really nice play on his team right there to actually protect him. And the Blind Cloud right there was actually playing a good part right there in order to disable actually focusing on him too much. So that was a nice play. It's going to be a 1-for-0 trade at the end of it all. Body Hunter going to be going in with just a little bit of extra push. But yeah, I do want to see some damage. And we are going to be seeing at least some snipe damage in this case. I do prefer that in this scenario over, rift damage or even auto attack damage. Auto attack damage can be really, really strong. And that's right there what I was talking about. A nice place rift. There's going to be Body Hunter right there, going to be going down, as well as the snipe damage potentially playing a part. But there is going to be a little bit of push on the top for the red team. Red team is going to be looking a little bit behind overall, though. They're going to be a little bit behind in the kills. Their push is going to be a little bit behind as well, but still pretty early. But damage I do hope to see, and that can change things really quick. Upset victories, like I said, are still a potential, even though things do seem to be in the favor of the blue team in terms of the comp and overall play styles. We'll see how things play out from here.
Definitely. And we see kind of a little bit of footsie knots going out now. Hammer coming out, not going to hit much. Nine Rockets charging up some fire onto his black hole there. And getting that bottom lane rotation cleared out, taking a lot of damage. And he's barely surviving that. Manages to get the black hole into the rift. That's going to deal a lot of damage, but fortunately not enough, because guess what? No damage on the red team except for that snipe. And Yeah, and I think it's really important to also have damage when you're on a Century comp, because you need that follow-up on the black hole. You need, like, you know, getting stuck inside a rift and black hole at the same time to actually mean something, not just a matter of waiting and being immobilized, but actually being able to capitalize on that enemy team's immobilization. You know, there's a difference between using a black hole for your safety and using a black hole to survive, and Blah getting a bit too cheeky there, but guess what? No damage, gets out. Paulo, we're just going to spike dive into Raylan right as the snipe hits him. And gets taken out, and Ray gets out at 1 HP. Friday that they needed, it's gonna bring it 3-2. I really hope that red team uses the solo that they're picking up now to get a snowball going, get the damage, just the damage before Scoop, for example, buys Holy Cup, and there's gonna be a big fight right there. And look at him get out at 1 HP. Like, imagine one thing a Starstorm statue instead of Regen, which I don't think has really been doing much for Sentry, and that was a kill on Body Hunter, like plain and simple, like right there. But like when we look at the blue team now, they're actually picking up Rubber Mask. That's gonna be the hill off of anything that's stuck inside the cloud, and we see like Snow Shovel picking up from Scoop. They're starting to catch on that they can tank the enemy team if they go into sustain options right now. And Rubber Mask and Snow Shovel are extremely cost-effective upgrades that can. It's only self-filling. It can't help the team kill the whole team like Holy Cup can, but it can lead to you know, getting another 500 health or so in the middle of a team fight if you place it at the right moment. Body Hunter going in and gets the bindings. It's going to be a Dash NATO coming out, and Nine Rockets can get taken out right in front of the turret, but not before Shadow can go in and pick up Blob with the Raylan auto attack. Good Riff going to get thrown down on the bottom lane. Paulo going to be in the jungle, and he's going to be doing an engagement here. Gets to dive both off on Shadow and on Shin. We're gonna see Shadow get taken out after taking all that damage. And even though he's managed to get the revenge snipe that didn't kill, he had to pick fate of either auto attack and fire, and he picked the fire and runs into it. Leon left alone to defend. Not a very good not to be solo defending with. Nadarok is getting a nice black hole flank. They should be able to take him out here, and yes, that is gonna be Body Hunter going down. Very good black hole. Shin knowing that he could follow up with that Tungan auto attack to take him out. Now Nadarok is going ahead and doing his best to he's gonna, before you can even get that black hole off, the dive through the fire comes out, and Blah runs at 1 HP, the absolute madman. Taking up another frag in favor of the blue team, bringing the kills 5-5 even levels, more or less completely even solar. Looks like a tiny smidge in favor. I believe Leon really needs to buy though. Yeah, he's actually sitting on 500 solar right now. We need to see him go back, you know, pick up some tongue damage or something, maybe some backstab. We need to see him getting that brawling potential in, which I think he's about to. Yeah, he is going to go ahead and head home. I really hope to see those damage upgrades coming out. We see a kind of change of pace of upgrades coming out in favor of Century. We actually see Tactical Vest. That's the excuse me. Is that Tactical Vest? No, it's not a stage. Not so serious tank and attack speed coming out on his auto attack, as well as Circuits of Time going for that damage there, rather than going for the Invis Beacon that he did last game. How are you feeling about the DPS build that Century's currently running?
I think it's an interesting pick, you know, just because the blue team is going for sustain option right there. There's going to be a team fight that's happening right there, and Blah is going to be picked off right there in the black hole. Ray going to be stuck in that Invis Cloud, looking at about a quarter, or like a single bar of health, I should say. And that's going to be a 1-for-0 trade in favor of the red team right there. But talking about the Sentry specifically, I think it's kind of an interesting one. I mean, definitely damage is damage, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to auto attack specifically on Sentry, it's fairly cost effective. There's going to be a nice stash right there. Going to get all 3 of them right there from Vinny. They are going to be forced to retreat right there, and going to be looking. Ray is going to be looking to pick up some items, potentially going back to shop, or just, you know, to heal. That's fine. We do see damage on her, by the way, which is actually nice to note. But I would actually personally on Sentry be focusing a little bit more on just burst damage, because I think that's going to go a long way. You know, we're talking about the ability for you know, Vinny picking up a Medican as well as that heal cloud. So he's going to be out there forever, basically. And if you're looking at DPS or poke stuff, it's not going to do too much against him, unfortunately, just because he does have the ability to regen so effectively. I would be looking, like I said, for burst either from the black hole or the there's going to be a nice combo right there. It's going to be a rift black hole as well as the tongue of silence. And Ray right there trying to do some nice juking, so just wasting some time. Yeah, nice try, but, you know, right there at the quarter bar, not much else you can do. I mean, you know, give it the old college try, but not you know, not too much coming out of that, unfortunately. Right there, the Sentry almost going to be taken out right there. If Blah was caught right there in the black hole, that would have been it for him, definitely. But yeah, I do want to see Sentry focusing not so much on auto attack. Honestly, I do want to see him focusing a little bit more on just raw either Tailburst or Black Hole, because he is going to be the one of the big damage healers. Wow, damage dealers, as well as Raylan. And Ray has already built her snipe up right there. The only thing left for her would be either HC bomb if we want to go burst or anything like that. And he's going to pick up another stage of Yellow King pages, so that's definitely what I personally want to see out of this. And Leon is going to be picking up some damage tongue right there as well. So damage coming out on the red team, which is what we were talking about earlier, is going to be basically their kill condition. And so far it has been working out for them. They are 1 kill ahead, and Leon trying to do some jukes, I guess, maybe trying to avoid some of the Scoop's hammer, and he's going to be actually be able to get out, thankfully. Picking up a slow blade as well. So I actually want to bring that up. What do you think about this slow blade pickup on Leon right there against this comp?
It makes Leon very scary, especially for the Frog to go face 1v1. It forces them to commit to the kills because they're not going to be able to juke him. And it can really help with the chasing, and that's what he needs against 2 mobile knots. And, if he can actually, slow down someone inside a rift, or it makes it easier to hit those rifts, easier to hit those black holes that kind of seal the fate, so to speak. So it's a really nice pickup. I see what he's going for. I don't think it would have been... I don't think it's necessarily a wrong pick or a right pick. Like, there is other stuff that would have been viable too. But I see what he's going for, and it works for the playstyle that he's going on, basically. Because, if you don't have enough CC for a Frog, it can be one of the most annoying things to face here. And they get some nice poke out on Vinny there. They might just be able to take out that top turret. We're going to see a Clown come out. We're going to see a Hammer come out. And Shadow getting chased out. Quite a bit there, and not much else going to be happening. Hammer going to come out. Rift going to come out. And pretty much kind of stagnating right now. Just not much really happening. There's gonna be a little hammer chip. Hammer going to come out there. Rift, snipe, Blog coming in with a flank. Distracts the enemy team. He might be going down here. There's gonna be the bindings coming out. That Holy Cup barely keeping Blog alive, and now the hammer initiation with the spike dive follow up. It's gonna take out Shadow. That Holy Cup just really turned that around. Now they got 3 flyers, 2 droids. Paulo and Body Hunter just taking them out. Blob ready for the flank, and as soon as they try to go in and just melting down that bottom turret, Shin knows there's not much he can do. He almost manages to take out Blah, and now he might just pay his life for it, but the hammer is going to be a miss, and he's actually managed to go through that turret. Paulo going to take out that top turret, open that up, and Shin is actually going to get some droids escorted there. Paulo and Body Hunter both going to go ahead and go back while looks like Blah is clearing up that top lane. Base exposure now open up for the red side. On the red side, Shin has a bunch of droids to clear, picking up like, God, what is that, like 60 or 70 solar just from clearing that wave of droids. So much was stacked up in that one spot.
I do want to point out, it looks like Sentry's AFK in their base. I don't know if something's going on in that situation where he had to step away from the computer or something, but it is effectively 2v3 right now and has been for a while. I was actually wondering, it's like, what happened to the Sentry? Like, we haven't seen it in Black Hole action. Yeah, I don't know when that started happening, but this is, I mean, obviously that's not a good situation for the red team right there. So it's unfortunate that happened, but I mean, if Sentry gets back in there, maybe they can make something happen.
Well, they shouldn't be fighting right now as long as they properly communicated that. Which it doesn't look like they're fighting. It's hard to tell if it's pussy knots or they're actually like, okay, they're fighting.
Since they were
okay. Well, he's back in. Okay, but was the Sentry AFK during that? I didn't actually catch that.
I think they were. I mean, we can check this a little bit later. Maybe that's something to take up at like managerial note and thing like that. But I mean, they are back in now, so they're going to be getting into it again. So we'll see how things go from there.
Definitely. And Night Rocket's going to go ahead and get a black hole and blah. That's unfortunate, honestly, because I believe Izzy had this problem last month also. They actually had to forfeit in the middle of a best of 3 that they were kind of in prime position to win. Because they had something come up. But looks like XiPang Disciples is going to go ahead and finish this off. I don't think there's anything they can do to contest. And they're going to be taking that out 9-7 kills at the 14-minute 27-second mark. I got the kill cam rail going. Did they team fight while Sentry was AFK?
They did. When they were, I specifically remember when you were talking about we're talking about Blog getting in from behind the turret and maybe potentially going down the Holy Cup on the scoop. That was a 2v3 situation right there. And I mean, again, we can play back the tape if need be, and if there's managerial things to take care of, we'll take care of that, I suppose. But that's in this situation, at least, that's how things stand. It is going to be a 2-0 win for the XiPang Disciples. Got their team name.
Definitely. Now, well, besides like I guess the obvious, not be AFK, like what are some of the different things they could have done team wise?
I think they were doing a pretty good job. I mean, honestly, the only thing that I can really point out specifically is the AFK thing. I mean, really when it came down to like coordinating their abilities, they were doing a good job. The only thing that I would say as far as like potential mistakes, I guess, is that I wouldn't necessarily have picked up height on Rift, at least not so early. I definitely would have prioritized just raw damage at that point. Penny, or not Penny, Raylan on landing can afford a stage of damage if she does a perfect drop and waits a couple of seconds. She can actually afford a stage of rift or stage of snipe damage, which was one of her earlier pickups. But I don't think height was really doing a whole lot for her. I can understand her reasoning though. Frog can just jump, a million miles into the air. That's one of his things. As well as Vinny just being able to fly. So height definitely does help. Iron Rifle did go a long way to helping that out as well. Being able to avoid a silence cloud or being able to avoid being stunned out of it from Frog, things like that, and still being able to dish out that heavy damage who was going out from the snipe is going to be nice. The Leon, like I said, the slow blade I think was a good pickup in the overall. Especially when it comes to like mobile knots and things like that. If you can get them stuck in Rift and slowed, they're gonna be stuck in there for a while, and that could be a kill right there easily. Other than that, it was really just they were doing a good job coordinating up until, frankly speaking, the AFK Sentry. So I mean, really, that's the only thing I can really pick out. It was a good fight overall and a good match to say. And unfortunately, that it had to end up the way that it did.
Definitely, it is unfortunate. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Easy Dizzy will have another chance though, however, in the losers bracket. We will see how that goes down. But we're gonna be right back with another best of 3 series. Do not go anywhere, man.